Hello and welcome to CU150. I'm your host, Tim Montague. Today I'm joined by Esteban, Gast, and Maria Ludeke, the founders of a company called Creative Health here in Champaign, Urbana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Really nice to have you, and I'm so excited to talk about what you're up to. You're a really unique combination of art, design, creativity, and then loads of good information about how to eat healthier and live a healthier life. Tell us about how you got the concept and where you come from there.
Yeah, so it started, we went and we worked in Panama last summer now, so about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Panama is a difficult place to be sometimes because you get very sick. There was E. coli in the water, and I got very sick. And I also found out at that time I had a gluten intolerance.
Okay.
And I was having trouble getting healthy again until I saw a nutritionist.
Mm-hmm.
And so by cutting out gluten and dairy, I started to feel a lot better. And so I started becoming obsessed with reading articles about nutrition.
Yeah.
And that was partnered with the fact that we were living in rural Panama, and it's an area where people are living below the poverty line. And I started thinking about health on a low budget and preventative health care.
Okay. What was it that took you to Panama? I'm just curious.
I was there on a fellowship with my master's program.
Oh, cool.
So I was there in January, and then I was like, you should hire my girlfriend, Maria.
Mm-hmm.
And then the company was like, yeah. So they hired her, which was great. And then there, Maria designed the first ever creative health thing, which was just something she designed for fun, which is really great. And everyone responded really well. The staff was all American. They were like, oh my gosh, I want this at home. I want to have this healthy eating information. It was really attractive, graphic design way. So then...
And that poster was how to be a gluten-free vegan and eat under $2 a day.
Okay.
So that was the very first poster.
How to be a gluten-free vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard to be a gluten-free vegan?
No.
Okay.
No. I
That's
don't
the good
think it
It's
is.
easy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our interns and people that were working there came up to me and they're like, it's just terrible. You can't eat bread. And they honestly just, it was like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. And it's like, It's not a problem. It's like there's plenty of wonderful, natural, plant-based foods you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to put a very positive spin on it because I was like, man, life's not over. I mean, you can feel very healthy.
Yeah, it is. Bread is an integral to the Northern European diet.
Yes.
And my family eats a fair amount of bread, so I have a friend who's gluten intolerant also, and so when we're visiting him, I recognize all the things that I eat that he doesn't.
Yeah.
Including beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
gluten-free beer though. See,
it is.
We're gonna be okay.
It is actually in everything.
And wine is gluten-free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a big plus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're good there. But,
okay. So you went to a nutritionist. You got some good advice, and you turned your health around. Apparently.
Oh yeah.
You
So
look healthy.
I started feeling a lot better.
Okay.
And I designed that first card, and then at that point, our time in Panama was coming to an end, and I came back to the States, and I was so excited to have my computer again and to be designing again that I went from making this one card and started thinking about all these other topics related to health that I was interested in and created 12.
Okay.
Just kind of did it for fun, and then I started
What kind of topics?
So it was everything from, of course, how to be a gluten-free vegan, but it was also how to give back with food, so 30 ways you can make someone's day with food. It's how to eat on the road and how to master a menu at a restaurant when you're gluten-free. It's very difficult to tell what your best options are, what your healthiest options are, especially when you go to diners and things like that.
The list for groceries, that one was one that I thought was helpful. Because at the grocery, I want to eat healthy, but I'm just there, and I'm like, that has bright colors, and I throw it in the cart. So this list that says, get this at a grocery store, these are things you should stock up, and things like that. But it was never. It didn't start. I don't think we talked about it being a business for a while. I mean, it was just Maria designing
I
and
got home from my other job.
going to grad school, and that was it. And then and then we started that kind of shift of saying, this is something that people want and have been telling us, I would pay for this, I want this. So saying, should we monetize this?
Yeah.
Which was kind of that big switch, I guess, that happened.
And how long ago was that?
Probably when we started an Indiegogo campaign, which is like Kickstarter.
That started in
January.
Yeah. Right around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was pretty successful.
Yeah.
Yes, we made our goal, and then from that we were just planning on printing 100 sets, and so we did that. Worked out really well. It was really exciting, and we started selling them. And then we realized we don't know how to run a business. We don't know what the first steps are. We're just doing this all for fun. I'm just really interested in health, and I really like designing, and
the cards were designed from like a place of passion. Like we never thought about anyone else in the cards. You know, that people aren't gluten-free vegans or things like that. So then we took a step back, kind of this summer. Even though we just got married, from the airing of this like 2 weeks ago. So thank you.
Congratulations.
So that definitely put a pause on it. But during that, I mean, even during wedding planning, and on the altar, brainstorming ways, thinking of something that's more human-centered, that's more customer-centered, that's more, okay, well, it's great that we like these lifestyles, but what's something that makes health accessible to everyone, attractive to everyone?
But now, what about targeting the vegetarian community? Is that have you tried that? Is that someplace you get traction?
I think that's what we were planning on doing. I think with where we're going, we want to target the very healthy yoga types of people that they go to Whole Foods, they go to Trader Joe's, and they tend to eat mostly vegetarian diets. It's probably not going to be the people that must eat meat at every meal that are going to want to buy our stuff.
Yeah, even looking at who's interested in it, it's, you know, our friends that shop at the co-op in town, at Whole Foods, that go to yoga. You know, those are the ones that have said, I'll pay money for this. Where some of our other friends are maybe more, so reaching everyone, but definitely starting with that point of people who are familiar with health.
So you created these kits, you got them printed, and you've been selling them on Etsy. How do people find you on Etsy?
So we just shouted out to Facebook. That was pretty much the only social media we were doing at the time. And so we're just like, hey, like, Creative Health is officially being sold, because for a while we were kind of talking about it with people, and so we did a good job of building it up a little bit, and so started selling it on Etsy only via Facebook now.
But so if you just go on Etsy and you search on Creative Health, you'll find the
and then now we're linking. So our Twitter is @HealthRebranded. Our Instagram's @HealthRebranded. We have a Facebook page. So all the time we're developing more content for Etsy, but we'll be shooting people to the Etsy site from there.
And is your Facebook page @HealthRebranded also? Or?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/ or it might be Creative Health.
Okay. Because when I just Googled Creative Health, I found your Facebook page.
Okay, perfect. Well then.
Cool.
So you can also just Google Creative Health and you'll find it. Although it may not be the #1 result, but I mean it's a fairly common expression. But definitely not a common combination. The company is very unique, and I do think that you're onto something. So I look forward to seeing how this plays out. As we were just talking in the pre-show, I describe your offerings as a salad. You have a wide variety of colors and textures and tastes, and that's a real strength of yours. The challenge is focusing and figuring out what your niche is going to be.
Yeah.
I didn't know the story of Panama and how you and your personal health triumphs. So that's also, I think, something that you can leverage, because there's lots of people out there who connect with that. that personal story.
Yeah.
Even though their story may be a little different.
Yeah.
So I remember early on in our conversations that I introduced you to the Lean Canvas, and I used the version by a gentleman named Ash Maria, who's an entrepreneur in Texas. You can see that at leanstack.com, just like it sounds, leanstack.com. What do you make of the Lean Canvas, and kind of looking back and looking forward, knowing what you know about Lean in general? How has that helped or hindered your journey?
Yeah.
Definitely helped. I don't think I knew the word scalability before, or anything about how to start small and get feedback and iterate and build and grow and continue to just really reinvent whatever you're working on, not be afraid to kind of start over as you receive feedback. So
yeah, I think like all good maybe processes, it's this thing that's like, of course we should be constantly asking customers exactly, why they don't use a cookbook, why they don't have because we think, one thing that we say is you can eat healthy on a budget, but talking with you and with others, people say, I just don't have the time. I have a budget, I just don't have the time to cook. And those are things, of course, using Lean and just talking to customers and swooping back into the product and saying, okay, well, that changes this, that changes the content. Let's go back, that changes who our customer is. Because at the beginning, we want to be founded on a social venture. So we said, we're going to serve an underserved community. We're going to serve lower income. But now we're shifting and saying, okay, well, we can still do something that's social good. But realistically, those probably aren't our early customers. Those aren't our early adopters. It's going to, it's probably going to be someone like us who goes to yoga and eats at the co-op. So I think the Lean completely, it was this, looking at it, it's like, oh my gosh, of course this makes sense. This is intuitive, but seeing it in wording is like, yes, this will 100% help us create a product that people want, and that we're proud of, and that we want to share.
So I know it's been a busy summer. You did, on top of launching your company, you're teaching at the U of I now, and you got married, and now you're kind of coming back and revisiting creative health and driving it forward. What are your near-term priorities, and has your long-term vision changed in any way in the last, say, 5-6 months?
Yeah.
I definitely think so. Our first big priorities are to just get more content that we already have online and accessible to people. Whereas before I thought that everything had to be printed and shipped. Now we're looking into downloadable PDF options, and how else can we give out information and create an income without having to go through all these other steps and a lot of time, a lot of work for us, and still get that feedback. So that's a huge thing, getting more of our content onto places like Etsy and these platforms where we can sell. So that's a big one. And then the other is to build a website that more people can really come to and learn about what we're doing, especially all these new topics about health. So that'll be a blog and also a store, and just hopefully a really popular landing ground for anybody that wants to find out what Creative Health is doing.
And in long term, we started with these health kits, and in the end, we want to provide health information in a very easy and almost fun and attractive way. So I think maybe the goal is still the same. The mission statement is, provide health information in an attractive way. But I think the way to getting there is completely different, because at first we just started and we said, this is what we like. And now there is that thing where we say, okay, well, here's what people respond to. Here's what, so with things online, we can put out content and say, what would you change about this, or what do you like about this, or see what people respond.
So that's one of the shifts you've made, is going from selling print products to selling electronic products.
Yeah.
Which makes it just logistically simpler and more affordable, right, to put new products out there.
So much easier.
So I think that's great. You can always go back, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
To printing stuff. When you discover that something is super popular and people are demanding it, great.
Exactly.
Then go to print.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you also have a service business in mind. Tell us a little bit about that side of the business.
Yeah. So I feel like lately I've already been approached by several different people that have said, "Oh, like you're a graphic designer, and I'm producing." So, for example, Justin Kelly from Automaria Inspired is producing fruit leather, and that's healthy, natural, local. And so I was, I really need packaging for my fruit leather, and I was like, "Oh, I'd love to help with a project like this. I'm so interested in everything health. I want to make this product attractive for your buyer, and so more people buy local and support you." So I was really into that project, and then I was approached by Carl Cathedral for a project working with a gynecology office about how to make this gynecology office more approachable and how to get more people coming into the business. And I was like, oh, I would love to reinvent the whole process of going to see a gynecologist. I feel like I've already, I know what that process is like, and I want to make it better for people and make it something that. So it's all these different realms of health, and because I'm so passionate about health and I have a design background, I just thought it was such a good fit to be able to help people in these different areas.
Wonderful. So you have this concept for a creative agency that will focus on health and food, health and eating, health and nutrition.
Exactly. So maybe even like the way that we want to split it up, even in the health kits, it's mental, physical, maybe even emotional or spiritual health. So so we want to, and this is something we'll see develop and see what the growth of it is. But design, so like design and branding or design agency that focuses exclusively on health or nutrition or wellness, health and wellness.
Yeah, it's great to see the wellness industry evolving now and really coming online in the U.S. Prevention is so much better than the alternative, right, which is getting sick and then having to cure or recover in some way. If we prevent illness in the first place, it's so much simpler and affordable. I often say my health is my wealth. And, I work hard to stay healthy and eat right. And of course, that's a journey, and you never arrive at the pinnacle of health. You can always do more, which is great. It's a great. I see it as a challenge and an opportunity. So, well, good luck, and I really look forward to seeing how the company evolves. Hopefully we can revisit the company on a periodic basis to check in with you and see how you're leveraging the principles of lean startup, which you hit the nail on the head when you talk about iterating. That's the main thing, right? Is to get feedback and to evolve with the wants and desires of your customers, which is very challenging because you have to also be a visionary as an entrepreneur and create something new. So there's a dynamic there, which is it's a delicate balance. And some people find it and some people don't. And you can be successful. There's multiple ways, right? So anyway, is there anything else we should touch on before we end the show? We're almost out of time, but if there's any questions you had for your viewers that you wanted to learn from this, I'm open.
I mean, in the spirit of lean, you should connect with us on the social media and let us know maybe what you would like to see as I don't know, your health goals and what's stopping you from being the healthiest person you can be. I think that would be the only thing as we start the journey.
So check out Creative Health on Facebook and on Etsy. And you'll be seeing a whole lot more coming out on Etsy in the near future.
Yeah.
Very soon.
I look forward to that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've been here with Esteban, Gast, and Maria Ludeke of Creative Health on CU150. I'm Tim Montague. Have a great day.